Hi, it's Rick.
And I'm Patrick. We're the engineers for Audiotree Live.
Today's tutorial is on how we do the acoustic singer-songwriter setup for Audiotree Live.
Ain't compromised till we all walk free. Ain't compromised till we all walk free. I ain't compromised till we all walk free.
For recording acoustic guitars at Audiotree, we usually start with a DI just because that's sort of our safety. If we have a performer who's moving around a lot or tends to get off mic, that's always there. That's what they're used to, and we know that just allows them to feel free and perform the way they normally do. Miking, we usually use either an AKG 460 or a Royer 122, depending on the sound of the guitar. In addition to that, we'll also use a couple room mics. If we're not using our Royers, we'll use those as room mics. We'll sometimes use Neumann U87s. Having the DI and a close mic straight at the guitar sort of makes you feel like you've got your head right up to the guitar, and that's just not how we listen to music naturally. So we use the room mics pretty heavily to sort of create the sensation of being in the same room as the player.
So one of our favorite sessions we've done here, which is also probably our most popular session, is the Shaky Graves session. And with Shaky Graves, most of the deal is you can hear that it sounds like he's in a room. Well, that's a perfect example of like the Royers doing a lot of work in that situation. It wouldn't sound like that if it was all close mic'd.
As far as placing the microphones on acoustic instruments, what is usually used as a general rule is placing the microphone at approximately the 12th fret of the acoustic. That's sort of where we started Audiotree, but we sort of average a little bit more towards the sound hole. So we figure if we can get right in between the two, we're going to be in a pretty safe spot, especially if we have a performer who moves around a lot and is not gonna stay where that mic is pointed specifically.
Oh, yeah, well, so it goes, yeah, so it goes. Oh, that sweet alone, there may be stones.
When doing acoustic guitars and stuff like that in the room, when there's drums and bass and electric guitars or whatnot going on, we don't have the luxury of actually using room mics and stuff like that, so we rely mostly on the spot mics like the 460 or something like that. We'll put it right on there as best we can, and hopefully we get a DI signal too, because it's going to be pretty hard to hear one of those instruments over a big pile of loud stuff.
Forever, I'm asking to wait.
There's other instruments that we have to mic acoustically, and one of those being like a violin. And with the violin, if you really close mic a violin, it doesn't sound like a violin. It sounds more like some kind of scratchy animal dying kind of thing. You'll see, when we're doing these sessions with the violins, that it'll be about a foot or so off the violin.
Depending on what sort of room sound you want, you may find yourself putting the room mics only a couple feet away just to give you sort of a shallow room sound. If you're looking for a little bit more bigger room sound and you have a large enough room, then you might find that 5 to 6 feet, or even more if the room is appropriate, might suit your recording a little better. It just depends on what sort of distance you're trying to convey in your mix, and whether or not you're going for just sort of a general ambience, or if you're going for, a little bit of tail.
Yet I remain nameless, the best friend a hero has known. Now I'm saving my strength.
So as far as the reverbs go, just as a general rule, we usually use shorter reverbs for quicker songs, just so a long reverb isn't going to muddy up the mix or anything like that. If it's a slow song or there's very sparse instrumentation or sparse playing from the acoustic player, we can usually lengthen the reverb a little bit, and that will sort of help to fill out the mix. So an acoustic session that we just did recently that we thought sounded good was a Nashville group called Maybe April. We had an example of all of our typical acoustic mics on that one. We had the AKG 460, we had an AKG 414, and we had our Royer ribbon mics out for that one as well.
Buried our love inside. All of my leaves fell from you, filled ourselves at it's gone. You have
All right, cool. Well, thanks for watching our Audiotree tutorial on singer-songwriter and acoustic setups for Audiotree Live.
Again, if you guys have any questions, you can leave comments in our comments section, and we'll try and respond as best we can.
Cool.
See you next time.
All right.